Do you have any fun stories before we get into
Was yours a fun story?
No, but it was important that I warn everybody to be careful.
That's true. Not that I can think of. So if I think of something, I'll say it. But we can go into the questions. I'll read the first one, which is from Miss Fist. Thank you. When going to a con, what do you prioritize? Spending time with friends, browsing the artist alley, seeing panels by cool people, visiting karaoke watch-along rooms. Personally, walking the artist alley with friends and talking about everything is my favorite part of any con.
Aww. What do you prioritize?
I think I mentioned it at the beginning of the pod, but like the episode, I go to cons for guests. Yeah. So for me, it's lining up for panels and for concerts and autograph sessions. And that's pretty much all
She's
I'm
like
doing.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty much my thing. Yeah. What about you?
I prioritize seeing friends again. So at any con, I know what I'm doing for lunch and who I'm meeting with. I know who, like, usually I'll be like, all right, I'm going to lunch with this group. I'm going to dinner with this group. Usually if there's a musical guest, I try to look at that. Always stop by Artist Alley. Always, because something I forgot to mention previously about Artist Alley, maybe you're on a budget, but you really love a print, grab their card.
Oh, yeah.
Grab their card. Look at their stuff on Instagram. Look at what other cons they go to. You know, if you're a streamer and you're looking to maybe get some cool graphics done or things like that, grab their card. Take a look at some stuff later.
And they might have an online store. So if you're like, oh, I can't ship it or I can't take it back with me.
Or maybe just, I need to wait till my next paycheck, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, definitely hanging out for lunch, dinner, breakfast with friends. Definitely Artist Alley for me. Artist Alley for me. If there's any musical performances, that's also a really big one. And I just love walking around. Oh, and I love the cosplay areas as well. I love stopping by cosplay areas and taking photo. I really enjoy that.
Nice.
All right, my turn. Moneyman 34A. It's always nice to hear Mint and Mata talking about cons. Now, in your experiences at cons, what are the best ways to have fun if you ended up going by yourself?
Oh, I think we talked about this.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we ended up covering this question. Right?
I think, yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of like, I wonder though, like if someone wants to, like someone goes by themselves and wants to keep staying by themselves, you know?
That's okay too.
Yeah, I think that's okay too. And honestly, you can just do whatever, like the same things that we suggested. Like you can still go to panels. You can still go to concerts. You can still go to the artist alley or game room or whatever. It's, you know, you don't always have to be with people either. If you're just like, I need a breather. I mean, there's already going to be people surrounding you everywhere. So if you're like, I just want to go play some Groove Coaster in the game room for like an hour by myself, that's okay too, you know, so.
Yeah. It's okay to be alone and, you know, you can just be sitting at the music show by yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. You're going there for yourself. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I think I don't know where I was going with that. Never mind.
It's all right. It's been, you're not sleeping. I'm sleeping, you know. You're next, Tor. No, you're next, Mint. You're reading a question from Tor.
Oh gosh, what's wrong with us? Oh my God. Tor2131, thank you. Said, what's your advice on pacing yourself during a con? I went for the first time this year and totally wore myself out trying to see everything. This is exactly what we've been talking about. I think if you look at the schedule beforehand and you create the schedule and then you realize like, okay, you know, I might need some extra time for this. I might need some extra time for this thing. You really have to just kind of prioritize why you are at that con. Is it to buy stuff in the dealer's room? Is it to check out this guest? Is it just to hang out with people? Like you're gonna, you know, I think it's just, you know, I think it's good to plan or write down everything that you want, but you don't necessarily have to do everything. Like if you're just like, don't feel like you have to be like, okay, I'm running to this next panel. Okay, it's over. Now I gotta go run to this artist's booth. You're just gonna wear yourself out.
My advice, I know we already talked about a lot of it. Prioritize protein bars or something during the day to eat. That's not like prioritize some kind of food and water. There we go. Number 2, have one main thing in your day.
Yeah.
And it sucks because sometimes it feels like 3 things are the main thing. What's your main thing? Last, what I tend to do if I have a day that's really packed, give yourself a 30-minute buffer. It doesn't seem like you'll need it, but give yourself a 30-minute buffer on every single activity. Give lunch 30 more minutes. Give going to the thing 30 more minutes. Give waiting in line 30 more minutes. Just give everything 30 more minutes.
Yeah, especially because like it could take 30 minutes just to get your food like from, I mean, that's actually being pretty generous, I think.
Yeah,
if you're like,
yeah.
So it could take an hour to get your food, but if you only plan 30 minutes to get it and you buffered 30 minutes more, it could be really helpful, right? Yeah.
My turn.
Yeah.
Voidboy781. What's your take on VTuber performances at convention? Is it fine if it's just on a big screen because the fans want to see it, or should there be more to it? Ooh, good question.
Good question.
I'm just happy. If I could see my favorite VTuber perform, or just a VTuber I like, or just any performance, even if it's on a screen and I'm in the room, because it's not just about the performance. It's about being in the room with everybody else and enjoying that performance together. Right?
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
I think a lot of maybe things that have to be considered are like what is technologically available. Like, you know, I'm an indie. It might be harder for me to get 3D stuff set up, you know, like I would love to, I mean, and also, you know, just being on a big screen for other people, like maybe they don't have access to the robots that, you know, VShojo has to take them around the convention, or
3D is expensive. I'm getting my 3D done. It's like, it can be close to 5 figures. Not everybody can afford, you know, that kind of stuff for conventions.
I think all VTubers probably want to give the best performance that they can give.
I think so, too.
I think, and if only just being like a 2D model is the best that they can do at the moment, like that's, you know, what they're gonna be able to put out, and hopefully, like, you know, maybe they'll add like some effects or like whatever. But like Matara said, I think it's really just being in the room and feeling the energy of everyone around you and cheering together, and
and if let's say you're at a place and you tell yourself, well, I don't really want to go there, that's fine. You know, as a consumer, you choose where your money goes and how you spend it and what you do. Last one, you ready?
Last one is Gabriel. Is that CZT?
I think so.
Okay, it's really tiny.
Yeah, sorry. It is. Even I'm kind of squinting.
I never went to a con. They say one. I never went to a con, so my knowledge is really limited. Should I bring snacks/water, or are there places selling them? Should I plan stuff, or can I go to one and just have fun? Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, bring the snacks, bring the water. It will ultimately just save you so much time and money, I'd say, because you're not having to run to a place to get snacks.
Agreed.
I think we have talked about a lot about planning stuff, like plan this, check that, blah, 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 blah. But of course, you can always just go with the flow and have fun. You know, like if you're just like, a lot of people are lining up for this thing. What is it?
I'll line up. Ask questions. If you walk out of something and there's a bunch of people sitting on the floor waiting in a room, be like, what are you guys waiting for, by the way?
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening? What are we waiting for?
Yeah, because they might be like, oh my gosh, it's this next band and they're so awesome and they're super cool and they're fun. And you're just like, oh, cool. Okay, I'll check it out. So I think, you know, it's really what you want to make out of it. You can plan as much as you want or as little as you want. And we just gave you some tips on how to plan and to make, you know, how to make the most of the convention if you want to. But of course, you can also just go and have fun and kind of wander and people watch and take pictures and do whatever you want.
That's actually one of my favorite things to do at conventions. I love, like, I'll meet up with a friend I haven't seen in a long time and we just walk through the convention. I love people watching. I love looking at cosplays or anything. That is one of my favorite things. Every single day, I will get my 10,000 steps in just to the convention.
Yeah.
Please, like, it's nice to have everything planned, but there is just such a good way where you just take your time, you eat your little protein bar, and you walk around.
I forgot to say something.
You're not allowed.
Okay. Oh, this is so like, I should have written it down. I'm such an idiot. It goes all the way back to talking about cosplaying and stuff.
That's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Go. What is it, darling?
Oh, I was gonna talk about in Japan. In Japan. Yeah, I forgot to mention it.
It's like you're not allowed to cosplay, right? At cons as much?
Oh, you can. But usually there's an extra, like a separate ticket that you pay for to cosplay at the convention. And then that ticket allows you access into usually a dressing room where you'll like change into your cosplay. You'll bring all your stuff in like a suitcase and you'll change into your cosplay. And they have like places to, well, actually, I don't know. I don't remember if I don't think they had places to keep your stuff.
You probably, if you're going to Japan, you don't just wear your cosplay on the subway.
No, especially Comiket will not let you do that. But then for like cosplayers, it's so interesting. They'll like line up in like a cosplay designated area, and then they'll have like a little whiteboard or like a sheet of paper that says like, this is my like my Twitter handle or my TikTok or my Instagram or whatever, and they like kind of prop it up, and then people will form lines to take pictures with that or of that cosplayer. It's so interesting. It's like, sorry, I just thought of that. I don't know why.
You just thought of what?
Thought of that, like the whole thing about the cosplayers. It just popped into my mind randomly.
There we go.
I think because you were talking about the people watching, I was like, oh yeah, people watching at the
I genuinely love like grabbing, especially people watching, as you said, at the cosplay area, where you kind of I love watching cosplayers in their natural habitat where they're like talking to each other, then seeing people approach them and ask for a photo. And I don't know, I'm a cosplay watcher. I definitely, if you see a tall cockroach woman staring at you at a convention while you're cosplaying and taking photos, it's me. I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Like kind of just like people watching it. Like cons have an energy that is only able to be experienced at that type of an event.
Agreed.
You know, it's like just the gathering of all the nerds. And then, you know, it's a lot of fun. If you've never been to one, if you're like kind of nervous, if you're anxious, even someone as socially awkward as me can go. I think it's okay.
I love it. Good episode today. And we actually stayed on theme, and we are finally not 25 minutes over episode time. Who are we?
Who are we?
Who are these professional ladies?
I've always been a professional.